Hey everybody, I just wanted to show a quick little garden update. It is right now toward the end of July, and it's been pretty warm. It's been over 100 every day last week. This is the first day it's below 70 degrees, so that's nice. This is one of the potato containers that I have, and it's been holding up in the heat really well, even though it is shallow and in a container, as well as these buckets back here. For all these potatoes, I do water them just about every other day, and just give them probably about a quart of water every day, or every other day rather. And we've already harvested the first 3 containers of potatoes from the front, and we've got about 9 pounds worth so far. We had to harvest them a little early due to some blight. So this rose right here, it's growing really well, and it's got great fragrance to it. And I'm not sure how well you can see that on the camera, but it's kind of orange and pinkish color. And I do need to train it up the fence a little bit better, kind of tack it up there. And the lavender is doing great as always, and the bee balm as well. And there's been a lot of butterflies and hummingbirds near the bee balm. I've seen quite a few birds over here, which has been great. And then over here, we have carnival squash, and I've got about 4 inches of bark down. The darker color is the newest bark, and then the lighter color, like to the sides, is a little bit older. And these were some of the last ones to go in. That's why they are smaller than some of the other ones that you'll see when I get to that part of the yard. And then I've got the sheep's bit behind it. They normally have purple ball flowers at the top. I just didn't really get around to harvesting any this year. And then we got 2 new lavender plants. We got them on clearance from our local home improvement store. And it's a great way to get plants, especially perennials, that will come back. So we're trying to kind of nurse them back to health. They were clearanced out because they were just about dead. So we'll see what we can do. And the hostas are still going strong, even due to the heat, but this is the cold side of the house. And then these again are St. John's wort, and I'll be harvesting the flowers, and I think I'm going to make a tincture out of them. And then this, I'm not sure if you remember from one of our last videos, if you've seen it, I'll leave a link in the description below, but this is the mullein plant. And it's grown quite a bit. It's about 8 feet tall at the moment. We did harvest off all the leaves from the main part of the stalk. That's why it's looking pretty bare. But normally it does have these real big soft leaves on it. And then we're having an issue with moles. Our dog got 2 of them for us, which was awesome. We didn't have to set traps or anything. But they did tunnel all throughout this patch here and also in our backyard. And so it's been kind of trying this year with a lot of our gardening, because they've ruined some things, and I came up right in the middle of my chamomile and dug holes there, and there was quite a few others throughout the yard. But this right here, these were the radishes, and so they sent out seed pods, and that's what all those are. We're just kind of waiting for everything to dry out so I can harvest the seed. And then the cucumbers here, they still need a ways to go. They're looking pretty sad. I don't know how much they're really going to produce, especially with the tunnels underneath. Let's see if we can see anything. Yeah, it's still fairly small. This is one of the dragon carrots, and it's red on the outside and then orange in the middle. And they taste great, and they've got really good flavor to them. And then we've got some St. Valerie orange ones as well. These are the cucumbers that we have growing up this trellis here. And we do have some fruit coming on. And they're still pretty small so far. I believe these are pickling cucumbers. So hopefully to make some pickles this year, or some relish, something like that. And then these marigolds. These are my new favorite marigolds. They get very full, and they're tall, and they're just beautiful flowers. And then our gladiola, I have one there and one there. They were bulbs that apparently I didn't get out of the ground when I took the rest of them out. Real pretty magenta color, but it's just not strong enough to stand up on its own with just the one there. So, and then my mint has been going to flower recently. I just haven't been able to come out and pick it like I wanted to. Same with the chocolate mint. So I'm hoping to do that. And this was where some of the tunneling was, right there. And over there as well. We've kind of tried to stomp them back down, but there's certain areas where you can still see quite a bit of it. And just a quick little side shot of the raised bed area. And I'll go down and around and show you. And this is some wild yarrow growing. It comes up every year. And it just comes up in our grass. So in here last year we had kale and a lot of greens and cabbage, and so now that the kale's all out of here, we kind of put some other stuff in. So we've got some zucchini in here, and you can see there's a little yellow one on there, and some lettuce is kind of tucked in here and there, and then there's another wild yarrow growing there. The collards are really coming up pretty well, and then behind that we've got chard coming in. And then, again, some more zucchini. In this box, we've got quite a bit of tomatoes on there. This is the red beefsteak. And then these ones are the San Marzano. And with the trellises my husband built, he kind of built them wonky intentionally, just for aesthetic reasons, and added some copper on there. But the tomatoes have grown with it, so they've kind of grown this kind of weird curved way as well. And in this box we have carrots, and again these are still pretty small as well. And then the lettuces are all done, they've all gone to seed at this point. There are still some leaves in there, but they're real bitter. And so we don't really eat these ones too much anymore. We're just kind of letting everything go to seed, and then we'll save it, and we'll do another lettuce box starting for our winter garden. But in the back, these are Malabar spinach, and I've also heard it called Indian spinach, and it's it's not a true spinach, but the texture can be a little slimy like okra, but it's a good high dense nutrient spinach for leafy green. And this is our first year growing it. It's usually too cold in our area, so with this warm weather we've been having, it's been nice to have some new plants. And these are butternut squash. We've got one coming in there, and then another there. I thought there was one more hidden somewhere in there. And we've got another plant at that end. And this we just let go to seed. And the other lettuces that we had in here have been taken out at this point. They all went to seed and are done. So now we're just letting the rest of this butternut squash vine out in this direction to kind of fill up the rest of the box. And then we are training it up with bungee cord. I try not to force it. I try and just kind of gently hold it in an upright position and let it climb. That's what I did last year, and that seems to be working this year as well. This is our only broccoli, and just with the warm weather it just bolted and didn't really produce much, so we're just letting it go to flower and we'll get seed off of it. In this box you can see more seed pods for all the different kinds of lettuces we had and different greens. And then our last garlic, was an elephant garlic, and I am letting it go to flower. The rest we've picked and eaten. This is another zucchini. We do have fruit on there right now. Yeah, it's only about 5 inches long, so we're going to let it get a little bigger. And then these are carnival squash. And so these are just a little bit older than the first ones that I had shown. And we don't have any fruit on them just yet, and they might be a little crowded in here, so I was originally going to let it grow up this little trellis we have. And they're not really wanting to climb much. They're more like an acorn squash. And then this plant, based off the seed, we thought it was an eggplant, but definitely after the leaves started coming out, we realized it was not. It was tomato. So, and it does have a couple little pieces of fruit on there. And then again, this is another one of the carnival squash. And these are our pepper plants. So this one here is the Golden California Wonder, and There's some little fruit on there, and another one back here. They're not real big yet, but they will get a bright orange. And then there's just calendula and some basil in the front. And from my research, these are all companion plants. So that's part of the reason we put them all in this box together. And then these are the Carmen pepper. They're a sweet Italian style pepper. And just starting to get some red color on them. They will be red when they're completely done. But just so you can see how big these are. They're pretty good size. And then in this box, again, things going to seed. And then a zucchini. And we do have one on there right now. It's about 10 inches long, and I did pick another one last night that was as well. And then we've got two more right above it that are coming in. And this thing has already put out like 3 or 4 good size, at least 10-inch zucchinis. And then this is a yellow zucchini here. And there's one on there and a couple other little ones. And we've gotten one off of there so far. And then behind here we've got more butternut squash. And I'm going to let it fill up this trellis area. And to the back side, in this back area, we got a lot of dirt the end of winter, beginning of spring, and we're still working our way through it. So just beyond it, we've got our compost. And it's been growing really well, and our neighbor's graciously given us some of her rotten apples and chicken bedding. She does have a few chickens, so she gave us the old bedding that was all soiled, so that's been great to be able to add to it. And then this vine here is pumpkin. It's not edible pumpkin, this is just a jack-o'-lantern style pumpkin. And I haven't seen any pumpkins on it yet, but I do see some male flowers coming in. And it's finding out this way as well. There's a bee right there doing its job. So along this back row, these are our sunflowers. And they're just reaching over the fence. And so the fence stands about 5.5 or 4.5 feet tall. So you can kind of get an estimate of how tall they are right now. And we've got a few marigolds over here, and the ones at this end, with the molt issue we were having, they were tunneling under this back edge, so it was killing off some of them. So this one's a little slower growing. The one that was here died, but these other ones have been growing strong, so I'm anxious to see if we can get some seeds out of there. I think our biggest concern is going to be dealing with birds, because we do have a lot of birds in our area, so we'll see. And then another zucchini here. And some more marigolds. This is my new little pathway I'm working on. And then another zucchini here. This is a yellow. And then my dill's gone to seed. And then I'm just kind of filling in flowers in between our main plants that we have. So these are zinnia that will be coming up here probably in August, I'm guessing, because they are still not quite showing flower heads yet. And then some more nasturtiums here and here. And then our blueberry. I put some more bark on there, so it's got a good 7 inches worth of bark around the blueberry bushes back here now to help protect them. And I keep adding a little bit more mulch every season, and just to kind of get them healthy, and they look like they're thriving, so I'm happy about that. These are kind of more of those real large marigolds. And then these are some of the gladiolas that I had moved from the front to the back. And they've been moved about 3 times this year, so I'm surprised they're still alive. This is one of our tomato plants, and it is setting on fruit. And again, some more marigolds there. And then we do have a couple hanging baskets. These flowers are still going strong, along with our raspberries. These were the yellow ones that are just starting this year. I didn't expect anything off of those yet. And then these are red raspberries. And we've been getting fruit off of them just about since beginning of June, I would say. And there's a few berries in there still. And they usually don't make it past this area right here. They get eaten very quickly. All of our berries do, actually. And then our tayberry, and it did grow off some new shoots. And so we got a few berries off of there. It was the first year it fruited, so it was nice surprise to get a couple berries. And then on our strawberry patch, the first round's been done for a while now, but we're on second round is coming in. So we're starting to get more fruit coming in, and I don't know if you can really tell, but we had a lot of disruption in this back area from the moles, so I think that kind of stunted some of the growth and killed some of the plants. So I'm hoping that they can survive this next year. They are sending out runners, so that is encouraging to see new growth coming in. And then this is one of our other potatoes, and so I'm guessing this will be the next one to harvest, aside from the ones that are in the front. And I've got a few things left on the deck out in the front of our house. And this right here, this is a spaghetti squash. It was one of the last ones planted as well, and so it hasn't grown quite a whole lot just yet. And then in here, this isn't really food related, but we've got new little rosettes coming on to our succulent garden over here. And all the succulents have been flowering, and the bees are just all over our sedums and everything. So they're pretty much done for now as far as the flowering stage goes. Again, there's another spaghetti squash. And so it's pretty much done for. But, and then another calendula and 3 more there. And then these 2 squash, I'm not sure what they are. They lost the tag, and they were the last ones on the ground. So they're real small, but they're hanging in there. And then in this area, again, the nasturtiums they're about done. It's getting pretty hot for them, and this is a really hot part of the house. But they are putting on seeds. So I have been starting to collect the seeds more. And I'll show you. Usually what I do is I'll just lift up the whole thing like that, and then I'll find some just like that. And so we'll just kind of let them finish drying out, and then we'll be able to use them again next year. And they're all over. I mean, there's seeds all over this plant, so it'll be great to be able to save some more. And then the basil, or the oregano behind it has all gone to flower. So this little area, the bees are just all over it, between the sedums and the calendula and nasturtiums and the oregano. They're just everywhere over here. And then I did trim back my rosemary. All the stalks were about this tall, so I trimmed it back and to dry some for the rest of the year. And then this is I think a butternut squash. And this was one of the last 3 that got put in, so it's real small. I don't know if it's going to produce anything or not. I don't know if it's too late. We'll see how it goes. And then this little lettuce right here, this has been such a great producer, and it's gotten wonderful flavor. And so I'm really happy about it, and I'd like to grow more of it decoratively, kind of to edge something next year, and that way we can eat it and it looks nice. Then along to the front, I've got containers of squash up here. I got very overzealous and planted quite a bit this year, so I'm still trying to fit them in everywhere. And I don't know what I was thinking, trying to put 3 carnival squash in 1 container. It looks beautiful. However, once it starts fruiting and flowering, I don't know how much they're going to like being all there together. So I did kind of add this little platform here. With these bricks in this box, and I will take out the things that are in the box, and that way the fruit can kind of transfer into there. Yeah. The same with the acorn. This is an acorn squash, and we do have 1 little one coming in, and so that's the first one on there so far. I don't have any on this butternut, but we are able to trellis it. So it's going from this container, and I'm going to have it go up and over the rail. And so it just reached this edge of the rail, but no flowers or fruit just yet. It looks like there's some starting to come on, but not quite yet. Otherwise, the rest of the herbs up here are doing well. And then this tomato, this is a Sweet Million, and we're starting to get one ripe one on there, but there's quite a bit of fruit coming on. I'm just trying to keep my 4-year-old away from it because he wants to eat them before they're ripe. And I did companion plant this with chives, or I'm sorry, green onion, or no, chives. I was right the first time. And so these were cut down to here about 4 days ago, and so that's 4 days worth of growth right there. And they've been doing excellent, and they have great flavor to them. So I'm anxious to try the tomatoes and see how they are. And then we've got one more butternut there. And then our basil box. It's been real slow growing in this box. I think part of it is just the heat. It's been hard to retain a lot of the moisture in there without it having any bark layer or mulch layer on it. But seems to be doing okay. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.